Right now, somewhere in the Red Sea, an American destroyer is tracking an incoming drone. The drone costs about $5,000. It was built in a workshop, loaded with explosives, and aimed at a commercial shipping lane. The destroyer has two choices. Option 1. Fire a standard missile. Cost: $4 million. The drone disintegrates. The missile is gone. One fewer round in a magazine that cannot be reloaded at sea. Option 2. Point a beam of focused light at the drone. Hold it for a few seconds. The drone burns, breaks apart, and falls into the ocean. Cost: $3.50. That is not a typo. $3.50. And that number is about to change everything about how the United States Navy fights. Since October 2023, American warships in the Red Sea have fired over $1.8 billion in interceptor missiles. Billion with a B. Defending commercial shipping lanes against Houthi drone and missile attacks that cost a fraction of what it takes to stop them. A single SM-6 interceptor costs over $4 million. A single SM-2 costs over $2 million. And every Arleigh Burke-class destroyer carries exactly 96 vertical launch cells. Once those cells are empty, the ship has to leave the fight, sail to a secure port, and reload. A process that takes days and leaves a gap in the defense. The Navy Secretary called missile stockpile levels, quote, dangerously low, end quote, during congressional testimony in February 2025. This is the problem. Not a future problem. Not a theoretical problem. A problem that is happening right now, in real time, with real consequences. And it forced the Navy to ask a question it had been circling for decades. What if you could defend a warship without ever running out of ammunition? The answer started with a weapon most people have already forgotten. In 2014, aboard the aging amphibious transport ship USS Ponce, deployed to the Persian Gulf, the United States Navy did something that had never been done before. A sailor sat behind a console that looked like a video game controller, aimed a beam of concentrated light at a small boat target on the water, and pressed the trigger. The target caught fire. No projectile left the ship, no missile was launched, no explosion, just light, focused, amplified, and delivered at the speed of 186,000 miles per second. The system was called LAWS, the Laser Weapon System. It produced roughly 30 kilowatts of power, about the same energy output as a high-end industrial cutting laser. It could disable small drones, blind sensors on surveillance aircraft, and burn through the hull of a small boat at close range. And it cost about $1 per shot. The Navy called it a successful demonstration. The media called it a death ray. In reality, it was a flashlight from hell. Powerful enough to prove the concept, but nowhere near powerful enough to change the way wars are fought. LAWS was never mass-produced. It was a prototype. A proof of concept that showed the physics worked but left the engineering problems unsolved. The next step was a system called Odin, the optical dazzling interdictor. Unlike LAWS, Odin was not designed to destroy targets. It was designed to blind them. Installed on multiple Arleigh Burke-class destroyers starting in 2019, Odin uses a lower power beam to overwhelm the sensors on enemy drones and reconnaissance aircraft. The drone's camera goes white. Its guidance system loses track. It cannot see the ship it was sent to find. Odin was a soft-kill weapon, quiet, invisible, effective against the growing swarm of cheap surveillance drones filling the skies over every contested waterway in the world. But the Navy needed more than a blinding light. It needed a weapon that could kill. In 2022, aboard the destroyer USS Preble, the Navy installed something fundamentally different from anything that had come before. It was called Helios. Helios, high-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance, is a 60-kilowatt directed energy weapon built by Lockheed Martin and integrated directly into the Aegis Combat System, the same system that controls a destroyer's radar, missiles, and defensive weapons. That integration is what separates Helios from everything that came before. LAWS was a standalone experiment bolted onto an old ship. Odin was a sensor blinder. Helios is a weapon system that talks to every other weapon system aboard the ship. It sees what Aegis sees. It tracks what Aegis tracks. And when the combat system identifies an incoming drone, Helios can engage it automatically at the speed of light for the cost of the electricity it takes to power the beam. Roughly $3.50 per shot. Compare that to the alternatives. An SM-6 missile costs over $4 million. A rolling airframe missile costs roughly $1 million. Even a burst from the Phalanx close-in weapon system, the Gatling gun that fires 4,500 rounds per minute, costs thousands of dollars in ammunition. The math is staggering. For the cost of a single SM-6 interceptor, a laser could theoretically engage over 1 million targets. The magazine is not deep. It is bottomless, as long as the ship has electrical power. And a nuclear-powered carrier or a gas turbine destroyer generates enormous amounts of electrical power. The laser keeps firing. And the laser does more than shoot. The Helios system also functions as a long-range surveillance sensor and an optical dazzler, giving the ship 3 capabilities in a single mount: intelligence, soft kill, and hard kill, all from one system, all without using a single missile. During testing in 2024, the Preble successfully engaged multiple drone targets at sea, validating that a high-energy laser can function as a combat weapon in real-world maritime conditions. But here is the part that the headlines do not tell you. Helios is not a miracle weapon. And anyone who tells you it is selling something. A laser beam travels at the speed of light. That sounds like the ultimate advantage. No travel time, no lead calculation, point and shoot. But a laser does not work like a bullet. It does not punch a hole through a target on contact. It burns. And burning takes time. This is called dwell time. The beam must remain focused on the same spot of a moving target for several continuous seconds to deliver enough thermal energy to cause structural failure. Against a slow-moving drone, that is manageable. Against an anti-ship cruise missile traveling at Mach 3, or a ballistic missile descending at Mach 10, maintaining that focus becomes exponentially more difficult. And then there is the atmosphere. A laser beam traveling through clean, dry air at sea level performs differently than a beam traveling through rain, or fog, or heavy humidity, or salt spray kicked up by 30-knot winds over open ocean. Water molecules and sea salt particles absorb and scatter the photons, weakening the beam before it reaches the target. In dense fog, a laser can lose a significant percentage of its effective power within the first few miles. There is also a phenomenon called thermal blooming. When a high-power laser heats the air along its path, the heated air acts like a diverging lens, spreading the beam and reducing the energy density at the target. The more powerful the laser, the worse this effect becomes. And finally, there is the question of power. 60 kilowatts is enough to kill a drone. It is not enough to reliably destroy an incoming cruise missile. The Navy's own assessments indicate that anti-cruise missile capability will require systems in the 300 kilowatt to 1 megawatt range, 5 to 15 times more powerful than Helios. Those systems do not exist yet. The Navy is working on them. Programs like HELCAP, the High-Energy Laser Counter Anti-Ship Cruise Missile Program, are designed to bridge that gap. But the engineering challenges, managing the heat, generating the power, maintaining beam quality at longer ranges, remain unsolved at the scale required for fleet-wide deployment. So where does that leave the Navy? With a weapon that is revolutionary against some threats, and completely inadequate against others. And the next war will almost certainly involve both. Here is what most people miss about laser weapons. The revolution is not the beam. The beam is physics. Concentrate enough photons on a single point, and things burn. Humans have understood that principle for centuries. Archimedes supposedly used mirrors to set Roman ships on fire in 212 B.C. The concept is ancient. What is revolutionary is the magazine. Every weapon system in the history of naval warfare has had one fundamental constraint: ammunition. A destroyer carries 96 missiles. A phalanx mount carries 1,500 rounds. A 5-inch gun carries a few hundred shells. When those numbers reach zero, the ship stops fighting. It does not matter how advanced the radar is. It does not matter how skilled the crew is. Empty magazines mean a defenseless ship. A laser changes that equation. Not because it fires faster or hits harder, but because it fires from a power source that does not deplete. The ammunition is electricity. And on a warship with nuclear reactors or high-capacity gas turbines, electricity is the one thing you never run out of. That is why the Red Sea changed everything. Before the Houthi campaign, laser weapons were a research curiosity, an interesting technology that might matter someday. After 18 months of burning through billion-dollar missile stockpiles to defeat $1,000 drones, the Navy stopped asking whether lasers were ready. It started asking how fast they could be deployed. The timeline has accelerated. The budgets have increased. And the question is no longer if directed energy weapons will become standard on American warships. It is whether they will arrive fast enough to matter in the next major conflict. $4 million or $3.50. That is the choice the United States Navy is making right now. The technology is not perfect. It struggles in bad weather. It cannot yet stop the fastest threats. It requires engineering solutions that do not currently exist at scale. But the math is undeniable. In a world where adversaries can build drones for thousands of dollars and the Navy spends millions to stop each one, the current model is financially unsustainable. The magazine problem is real. The stockpile crisis is real. And the only weapon system that solves both is the one that never runs out. If you think that story matters, consider subscribing. We cover the systems that are quietly changing how wars are fought. Not with hype, but with the facts that explain why they matter. Drop a comment and tell us, which details surprised you most? The $3.50 cost per shot? The $1.8 billion spent in the Red Sea? Or the fact that the Navy first fired a laser at sea over a decade ago? And here is a question for our next video. Lasers can kill drones. But what about the drones that hunt other drones? The Navy is building those too. And the way they work is unlike anything you have seen before. That story is coming next.